Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. So today I've come on a little bit of a scouting mission to a location that I've never been to before, but a location that I've been meaning to visit for some time, and I've come up to the Rumps up near Padstow. I said I haven't been here before. I've only been here a few minutes, but already just look at that view, absolutely stunning. So my intention for scouting this is because I've never been here before. I don't know the location, I don't know the lay of the land particularly well. There's only so much I can learn from watching other people's videos and from looking at photos on Instagram and Facebook and Vero and things like that. So you can't really beat actually going there and looking at the place yourself. My reason for doing this is really that I'd like to shoot a sunset here at some point, but I thought even though it's supposed to be a scouting mission today, you never know what the conditions might be, you never know how it might develop. The forecast at the moment is suggesting we may actually get a sunset tonight, so I've arrived in plenty of time so that I can have a little wander around, find where I want to be, maybe take some photos of some of the compositions. I'll certainly show you those as we go, and we'll see how we get along. But yeah, already the views along this piece of coast, just absolutely, look at that out there behind me, look, that looks like a target for a photo to me. And just up along there, look at that, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really quite looking forward to this. As I said, it's a place I've been wanting to visit for quite a while, and I'm sure that even if a sunset doesn't develop, I'm probably going to get some quite nice images out of this today. So come along with me and we'll see what we get. So I'm still making my way out towards the main part of the Rumps, which are just over here, behind you really, and I've stopped to take an image here. The gorse is all in bloom here at the moment, and it's looking absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you've ever smelt gorse. Gorse has got a lovely coconut smell to it, and here today in the sun it's smelling absolutely beautiful. But here in the foreground with the rocks and the sea behind it, it's really looking absolutely stunning. What I'll do is I'll turn you around a second so you can have a look and see the view that I've actually got. So there we go, there is that view. Look at that gorse. The colour of that is just so vibrant today, but I just thought that worked really nicely in that foreground with the sea behind and the rocks out there and the shape of the bay. There is a bit of a breeze, so unfortunately I haven't been able to use a long exposure as I'd like to have done. However, I'm still using my NiSi True Colour polarizer, and I've had to slot in the 4-stop soft GND filter, and that's because that sky is a little bit bright in places. There's some highlights there that are just blowing out a little bit, and with blown out highlights you often can't recover the detail that's in there, so I'd rather do as much as I can in camera to get rid of those highlights. So I'm using the 4-stop GND, which has worked beautifully to take that off. So I'm hoping that photo's going to come out looking really nice. I shall pop that one up on the screen for you now to have a look at. If you've been enjoying my videos, please do remember to smash a like on the bottom of them, and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me to grow. Again, I'm saying this on a regular basis at the moment, but a huge thank you to all of you who have subscribed. I recently cleared 300 subscribers, which is just completely and utterly beyond where I thought I would be at this point with these videos. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to all of you for that. Also for you actually viewing my videos and potentially sharing them, the comments, absolutely fantastic. I really do appreciate it. It really helps me to grow. And yeah, there's not much more I can say about it other than thank you. Whew, my Christ, that was some walk to get up that hill. I'm definitely not as fit as I ought to be. But we're here anyway, we're here, and as you can see, the camera's all set up just here behind me. And I don't know if you can see it down there, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. We've got the gap here, the jagged bit. We've got the island out here on its own. We've got the headland. So that's what I'm composed to shoot. I'll turn you around in a moment and show you the actual composition. I've got my NiSi True Color polarizer on there. I'm also using my 4-stop soft graduated neutral density filter, and I've got a 10-stop neutral density filter in there to smooth that water off, because I like a nice long exposure, as you well know. The light at the moment and the settings is giving me an exposure time of 1 minute and 20 seconds. So I have already taken a couple of images, but I will buzz you around and let you have a look at the scene from the vantage point that I've actually got. So there we go, there's my vantage point. The screen on the back of the camera won't go wide enough really to show you the whole thing, but this little rocky outcrop down here in the bottom left hand corner, that's in the image. Obviously I've got the island in the image, and I've got this rocky outcrop with the gap, and I've got that headland, and that light on there at the moment is just absolutely beautiful. This whole location is just stunning. I can't for the life of me understand why I've not been up here sooner, but I'm here now, and I guess that's really the important bit. That's all that matters. So like I said, I've taken a couple of images of that. I've taken a shot in landscape, which is the way you're looking at it now, and I've taken a shot in portrait, which is the vertical image. So I will post those both up on the screen for you to have a look at. So I'm starting to think there's potential for a sunset here tonight, which I wasn't expecting, but you can never tell. The weather chops and changes quite a lot here in Cornwall. Clouds come and go, but we've got some really nice high altitude cloud here at the moment, and I don't want to come around too far because it'll blow out, but as you can see, there's that sun, and you can see that sky is looking fairly clear. I'm not quite sure what that horizon is doing yet, so I'm sure we'll find out shortly. So what I'm going to do is these cliffs over here behind me, I'm going to take a little wander out along there, and I'm going to see if I can find a composition. Well, I know that there are compositions to be had from there because I've seen photographs that other people have done, so I know that there's definitely a composition there. Because what I want to do is this section that I'm standing on, the main body of the Rumps, I want to get a nice shot of that using this cove, the shape of the cove behind me, to accentuate the image. Nice long exposure hopefully, and with a bit of luck, fingers crossed, some beautiful colour catching in that sky. So I'm going to take a little wander along the cliff tops there, see what I can get, find a composition, get set up for sunset, and we'll see how it goes. Come with me, see what happens. So I've made it. I'm almost out at Pentire Point now. Pentire Point is just over that way a little bit, but this is where I wanted to be. As you can see, there's that view behind me of the Rumps and the shape of the bay, and that's really what I want to hope to get at sunset. And that cloud is looking quite nice up there, so I'm hoping we're going to get some really nice sunset light here very shortly. It is almost sunset, so I shall begin setting up the equipment in just a moment, and then we'll have a look at what's going on, and hopefully we'll get some really nice images. I didn't realise on the way up here, I knew there was a plaque up here written to commemorate the First World War and the soldiers that died in the First World War, but I've actually found it. I've actually walked past it here at the top of the cliffs. Let me just turn you around, I'll show you. So there it is. There's the plaque to commemorate for the fallen, as you can see, written on these cliff tops in 1914. Yeah, all those lives wasted in conflict, and not just in the First World War either, but in every single war that's ever taken place. No need for it, but there we go. But I knew this was up here on the cliffs, I just didn't know exactly where. So in fact, I'm quite pleased that I've found it, I've come to the spot, and I've seen it for myself. So yeah, there we are. So the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that I've changed my composition. I was out nearly on Pentire Point over there, like I said, where the plaque is for the fallen, as you saw just a moment ago in the other bit of video. And I started setting the camera up, and I decided that I actually didn't like the composition and the way that it worked. So I've packed all the gear away, and I've come back along the path towards the Rumps, and we've got this scene now behind me, which I think is working much better. The camera's all set up. I'm just going to decide in a moment what filters I'm going to use. That's going to depend on what happens with the light. Certainly I want to get a long exposure. I've got the choice of the 3-stop neutral density, 6-stop neutral density, or a 10-stop neutral density filter. I don't think I'm going to need the 10-stop, as it's not really bright enough for that now. I think I'm looking at the 6 or maybe the 3-stop, but I will decide on that as the conditions develop, and just depend on how much light really picks up in that sky as to whether or not I need a graduated neutral density filter as well. So it's a bit of a waiting game now, but that is landscape photography for you. If I just bring you around, you can see, well, maybe you can see, just up there, let's see all that high altitude cloud. That is absolutely beautiful. And if that lights, it's going to be absolutely stunning. And I'm just here now waiting to see what happens. It's a waiting game, unfortunately, landscape photography. You can never be certain what you're going to get, so fingers crossed. So I'm not sure my luck's in tonight, folks. You see that sun there over my shoulder, about to slip into a bit of a bank of cloud. Now, whether that cloud is dense enough to prevent that colour coming through, I don't know yet. I have made a selection on my filters. I've gone with a 4-stop soft graduated neutral density filter just to balance out the light in the sky. I've got the True Colour circular polarizer on there as usual, just to take the sheen off the water, and I'm using my 3-stop neutral density filter to give me a 10-second exposure as it currently stands. But I'm not sure what that sky is going to do now based on that cloud. Although, as you can see, there is some beautiful cloud up there still. And those Rumps are looking absolutely stunning. So we'll see. There is, I mean, some beautiful cloud up there. If that would light, it would just be absolutely incredible. But we will see. If it doesn't happen on this occasion, then I guess I'll have to come back another time and do it again. I would quite like to come back and shoot this anyway when the thrift is out, the sea pinks as it's more commonly referred to. So I haven't really seen much of that here this evening. Doesn't seem to be a lot out and about. There's a couple of patches, but nothing substantial. So I think when that's properly out, I'll come back and try and time a sunset shoot to include the sea pinks. Or as one of my children once misheard me say, they thought I said sea pigs. So apparently I was going out to shoot the sea pigs. He's never going to live that one down, unfortunately. So it's a bit of fun at home when I go out to shoot the thrift. But we'll see how this is developing. I'm not hopeful. I'm not overly hopeful with that bank of cloud, but who knows? I mean, there is. I don't know if you can see it on here, but there is some sort of purplish colour starting to come back here in this cloud. So all I can do is keep shooting and see what happens. there we are, that sun's about to sink below the horizon, and as you can see, that patch of sky over there is quite nicely lit. Now, as I come around, can you see this here? It's just starting to catch some colour, which is right over the top of the Rumps. So I'm still fingers crossed that we're going to get some light in there and it's going to pick up a nice bit of colour, but I can't be 100% certain at the moment. I have taken a number of images regardless. During the period of golden hour, I've taken a number of images, and I'm sure that I've got some images in there that are going to look really good anyway, but I just like that sunset colour. But as you can see, that's quite thick over there, that's quite heavy, but who knows? So I think it's time for me to pack up and go home now, folks. As you can see, there is some colour out there. That cloud, you see that grey cloud just up here? The colour has started to bleed out of that. And likewise over here, the cloud over the top of the Rumps, the colour is beginning to go out of it. I don't think we're going to get anything more now tonight. I think that bank of cloud on the horizon is just a little bit too thick. But that's landscape photography, that's the chance you take. I wasn't really expecting to get a sunset here at my first attempt, so I will definitely be coming back to do so again. But next time it will just be a sunset. Maybe I'll shoot a video, maybe it'll just be photos, I don't know yet. We'll see when the time comes. Once again, please do like and subscribe. Thank you to those of you that have subscribed to my channel. It really does mean a lot to me, I very much appreciate it. Don't forget, when you do subscribe, to hit that bell icon, as that will notify you every time a video comes out. So hopefully we'll have had some good images out of this today. The photos that I've taken here from this shoot at sunset, I will pop on right after I finish talking to you, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon.